Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode, Couture TV with Stephanie. Now today I'll be showing you how to use this GoLetterPress. Now this bad boy has 4 uses in one platform. You heard right, 4 uses. You can use it for letterpressing, stamping, stenciling, and also as a work platform. Now let me show you how to use it and what you can make with it. Let's get started. Okay, with the GoLetterPress, what you get in the box is the GoLetterPress base and lid, 2 magnetic tabs, and also your instructions. Now, as I said, there are 4 things that you can do with this one platform: letterpress, stamping, magnetic work platform, and stencil layering system. And I'll show you how to use all 4. Now let's have a look at the GoLetterPress. I'll move these aside. It has a plastic sturdy lid. It's very durable. It's not too heavy and not too light, but it's a decent weight, so you know it's not flimsy. It has measurements, so you can measure your cardstock. It also has a grid line inside, so you can line things up nice and straight. It also has on the base and on the lid, as you can see, measurements for your most common cards: an A2, a 4x6, and a 5x7. So that's really convenient to line things up. So you can line them up on the base or on the lid, which I can show you. So the first thing I'm going to show you is letterpressing. What is letterpressing? Letterpressing is basically a metal stamp, and we put ink on it and we impress the image onto the cardstock. So not only do you get the picture with ink on the card, but it's actually embossed. So it's deep in the card and it looks amazing. It has a beautiful finish to it. So these are available from Couture Creation. There's a variety of styles that you can pick, and they all have different sentiments, so you can mix them up as well. So I'm going to show you how to use that. So I've just chosen this one. I'm going to lift it off. I'm going to open my plate. Now this is magnetic, so when I place this down, it doesn't move. It's actually really hard. I've got to pick it up and move it. So if I want to center it, I can just see with the lines where I want to put it for my cardstock. So I'm going to move it over like that. I need some cardstock. Now there's a few ways you can ink this up. You can ink it straight onto this. And be gentle so you don't get it on your board, because it does stain and it's hard to get off. Just like that. Or you can ink this somewhere else and then move it. Now I'm going to use my removable craft tape because it's gentle on cardstock and it doesn't rip away, and it's also reusable. So I'm going to put my cardstock up here, tape it in place, close the lid. Now my magnet's not going anywhere because it's stuck on there. I'm just going to run this through my Go Cut and Emboss. Now I like to go forward and back because it gives it a nice even coat. So if anything misses out on the first layer, I'll get it on the second. Move that aside. Let's open it up. And look at that. How pretty is that? Let me take off my tape. No damage to my cardstock, and I can reuse that again. Now can you see how it's indented into the cardstock and how beautiful that is? Now another thing, I'm going to show you, you can mix up your inks to get a different effect. So let's go in with some green. And some dark orange. And don't worry if I miss a spot, because I can always go back and do it again. Another piece of cardstock. Just tape it in place. Just put it through my Go Cut and Emboss again. And back we go. Oops, one more. Open it up and check that out. Isn't that just so pretty? We've got some mixed colors there, and it's still embossed. It's beautiful. Now, I just want to show you quickly another way of stamping. So if you want to protect your mat and not stamp on there, that's okay. What you do, let's move this off. You can stamp it here. And then place it onto your magnetic board, because this cleans easier than this. So that's a good way to protect your base. That's why I like to use my glass craft mat for my messes, because that just wipes straight off. So I'll move that aside. Now, these are just some crafts I've already made using the letterpress. It's pressed in, and I just fancied it up with some stickers. That's the same with 2 colors like that. And then I just went around the edges with the ink. So let's put that aside and let's see what else we can make. So now let's talk about using this as a stamping tool. Let's get some stamps out. Now I'm going to use my GoLetterPress white cotton cardstock. Now this is a beautiful cardstock. It looks very fancy. It is smooth on one side and very textured on the other side. So I like to print onto the textured side, not the smooth side, if you can see it like that. So I'm going to use that for my stamping. Now for stamping, I'm going to measure it up and use my tape, because I know it's going to hold it in place and I know it's not going to damage it. Now with my stamps, I'm just going to place them in my sentiment, just like that. I'm going to close the lid. Oops, I'm going to close the lid. It's going to pick up the stamps. Close that one a bit more. It's going to pick up the stamps and it's in place where I want it. Now I'm going to stamp it with the color I want. I'll just use some dark orange on the writing. On the flowers, go with some orange. Go in with some green for the leaves. Now, of course, you can use it for one color or you can multicolor it. I'm going to go in with a little bit of black on top of the writing, so it's a bit mixed. And what other colors can I use? Maybe some little bit of purple where the flowers are. And all I have to do is press that. Oops, press it a little bit harder. Okay, My flower did not come out in some spots, but that's okay. The beauty of this, it has precision. It's not going to move. So I'm just going to go back in with some other color like so. I'll just go in with a bit more green. And I'll go in with a bit more orange. And when I go to stamp that again, it's going to get exactly the same spot. There we go, that's better. And I move my tape, I can reuse it, and it does not damage my cardstock. How pretty is that? You can go in and color it in with alcohol ink markers or leave it just as it is gorgeous. Check that out. Now also with our stamps, I like to move them aside and clean them with my stamping cleaning kit. Now, so that's our stamping. So you can make beautiful cards like this one with stamping. So I just went in with the alcohol ink markers with that. So the third way to use the GoLetterPress is the magnetic work platform. So I just like to take off the lid. It's just easier. It's got clips there, and you just pull it off like that, and I can use this as a magnetic work platform. So I can get my artwork if I'm still working on it and hold it in place with my magnets, and it's not going anywhere. So I like to hold things in place when I'm using alcohol ink markers, or if I'm doing something else and I don't want it to move. Now the fourth way to use it is as a stencil layering system. So I'm going to put some cardstock down. I'm just going to hold it in place with a magnet. And those little tabs there are great for your stencils so they don't move. I'm going to use, you can color these in, but I'm going to use some foil underneath here. And I'm going to go in with my hot foiling pen, which is ready. And I'm just going to get the foil to go through on my paper stock. Now you can use alcohol ink markers, you can use paint, you can use whatever you like. Okay, let's have a look. There's some foiling, so you can put some details to your cards like that. So we have just seen 4 uses in the one platform for the GoLetterPress. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I hope you have been inspired to get creative and start making some beautiful cards. Thanks for watching.